How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back a little versus action up in this piece. The form of Naked Dove Brewing is their 2019 barley wine versus their 2019 barley wine aged in rum barrels. Say what, son? Yeah, first things first. Context. I think I've done one Naked Dove beer before. It probably came from my buddy George. But these beers come courtesy of my boys from FLX Beer Reviews. If you don't know who they are, Mike and Dan, go check them out. Just the word FLX, just not even word, letters, which stands for Finger Lakes. And they do a beer review show. It's called a show. It's called YouTube. Up there in upstate New York. They came down for Beer Tube Palooza. They brought these down for us to review. They left these in my fridge, so no, I review them. Figured barley wine versus the rum barrel aged version. Obviously, a little bit different timing on this. This is barrel aged, so it was brewed before this, I guess. Maybe. Or maybe they were both brewed at the same time, but they were released at the same time. Just this one didn't spend time in barrels. I don't know. But we're going to review them side by side. We'll see what's what. Let's dive into it. I'm not even sure what kind of barley wine it is. Hopefully they say it. So these are... well, I'm going to butcher this. I got to say it now. Brewed and bottled by Naked Dove Brewing Company, Condadangia, New York. I have no idea. 2019 barley wine. That's it. That's all we get. Nothing. Yeah. 2019 barley wine. Aged in dark rum barrels. Done and done. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say these beers were made at the exact same time. And this one was just bottled, then released in 2019. This one was aged in a barrel, then bottled, then released in 2019. So I'm going to venture a guess that they were brewed and bottled at the same time. Or brewed at the same time, just didn't hit bottles at the same time. That's my guess. So we'll see what's what. No idea if we're talking about English, American, whatever. If you're talking about rum barrels, I guess you can go either on this. You know, man, they are spot on for their filling. So I'm kind of impressed with that. We'll try to do the classic Massive Beer Review double pour here. I'll tell you what, though. These look like whiskey. Not even beer. Carbonated whiskey. That's kind of how they come off. Off to a very good start. They have a clarity to them, at least, you know, non-barrel aged version does. It's pretty much going to be that way anytime you're dealing with barrel aged beer. But, man, it has this clarity, this whiskey kind of thing already kind of embedded in my brain. So you're talking about over here, you have this kind of, you know, orange-red mixture kind of coloration going on over here. Classic kind of American-style barley wine. Could be English, but it looks more American as far as that goes. Over here, it really does look like this beer was barrel-aged. Even if you look at the head, it might be hard to discern. If I turn, Jesus. You probably can see this head has dissipated quite a bit more, and that's your barrel aging at play. So definitely looks like the same beer that hit a barrel, you know? So, you know, from a distance, I would guess if it's not an American barley wine / American strong ale, it's going to be a really sweet English barley wine. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, anyway. Let's start in the base side over here. Let's see what we got going on. Ooh, that head. Look how beautiful that head comes back. I like that. Let's get a nose. Not much to it. I'm going to say it's actually... I'm not going to say it's full-on English barley wine, but it's not an American barley wine, at least on the nose, because I'm not going to be a huge, piney, kind of American-style hopping bitterness on it. I'm getting a little bit of hoppiness, nothing too aggressive. That could be a relatively fresh, it's 2019, 2 years, but English style barley wine. But there's also not a big, rich kind of sugar daddy, burnt brown sugar caramel. It's very much just kind of base, kind of crystal malt sweetness with a little bit of extra kind of like richness to it. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, not a negative beer, but you're talking about a 2-year-old barley wine. I just want a little bit more. I want a little bit more richness to it. Might get that in the taste, but it's not really there on the nose. So let's give this one a whirl. It comes back pretty nice. Good nose. you're getting this with a subtle touch of rum over here. I mean, really not that aggressive. Now, we haven't tasted it yet, so we got to reserve judgment for that. It's kind of reminded me of like Innocent Gun level kind of barley wine. I know that might be a little bit of a poopy knock on the brewery, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm not getting barley wine vibes from either end of the spectrum. I'm getting sweet malted malt liquor, and I don't mean that in like a Mickey's kind of hurricane kind of way. I mean it more in like a crap beer kind of way, but it's almost like a malt liquor / doppelbock / not too crazy kind of malt driven brewer sugar level barley wine, if it makes any sense. Let's just dive in. Cheers. And that's pretty much what you're getting. It's an English barley wine. They're going for an English barley wine through and through. But it's almost like they took like... This is all me just guessing on shit, so when I say it, it's almost like they did. This is me just throwing shit at the wall, see if it sticks. It's almost like they make an amazing kind of like... what would the beer be? It's a lager. It's almost like lager wine to a certain extent. That's how crisp it is. So it's almost like they had like a dunkel. They made a killer dunkel. And like, just make a fucking gigantic, huge, beefy dunkel. What's the ABV on this? Oh, they don't tell you. Okay. If this is over 10%, I'm very, very, very surprised. It's almost like a brewery that makes like super clean, crisp, well done lager. And they're just like, let's take our really good dunkel and just bump it up. Let's go like a triple dunkel. That's kind of what it drinks like. It's not negative. There's no off flavors to it. There's nothing crazy negative to the beer in any way whatsoever. No stressed yeast. Look at a high ABV. Nothing kind of crazy, overly roasty, toasty, or anything like that. It's just small. It's a small malt base, small malt bill. Like I alluded to earlier, almost like they used the brewer sugar and this to get to this EBV level. If it's a higher EBV level, like almost like they use enough malt base to get to like 7-8% of caramel malt, and they're like, well, we want it to be closer to 10, so let's just use some brewer sugar to amp up the ABV. You're like, you don't want to do that in the barley wine? You kind of want to have all that maltiness in there? So yeah, not a negative beer by any stretch, but just kind of, it really is more kind of barley wine light than anything else. Let's see how this rum version goes down. Cheers. Yeah, much the same. It tastes very similar as far as malt bills go. You definitely do get an oak component over here. You get a soft rum component. You get a little bit of tart apple. So I think the barrels might... Not the barrel, just like... It wasn't the right beer to hold up to the barrel. So you get a little tart apple component coming off of it. Which is... I'm not going to sit here and say it's crazy negative. But, you know, it's kind of shouldn't be there kind of thing. These are bummers. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and say, like, these are... You know, tasty, well done, small batch kind of barley wines. They're just, I wouldn't even, blind, I don't think I'd call these barley wines. I don't know what I would call them, because I'm not sure where they would land. Like I said, the best way I could explain these, and like I said, it definitely comes off as a bit of a kind of a swipe, I guess you would say. Not a positive, is very much the barrel program you would get from the likes of Innocent Gun. You know, when they're like, we made this batch barley wine, 9% English barley wine, we age in barrels, and you drink it, and you're like, okay, it's not really what I'm looking for. You know, it kind of has the kind of the corners, the edges, the whatever of a barley wine, but just doesn't really get there, and that's kind of where these land, you know. Bummer. I was hoping for really, because I love rum. I love rum barrel aged, anything, but barley wine, come on now, son. So I thought it was going to be a really fun side by side. The bottle shape, everything, it's like an old Hardy's bottle shape, like the old Hardy's bottle shape, but just a bigger version of that. So it's like super fun. It's like has everything I want in a barley wine, just kind of missing the mark for me. Yeah. Fun reviews though. Interesting to dive into it. I definitely want to check out. Naked Dove. Did I say something Dove? Something else? Naked Dove. At the beginning, did I say Naked Dove? I don't remember. I'm sorry if I didn't. Anyway, I want to visit these guys because I have very much upstate New York aspirations when it comes to beer traveling again. But yeah, we're gonna see what's what. But yeah, it's all right. Got to do it. It's called science. Cheers. Yeah. I had to do it. I'm not saying it was going to be better or worse. But anyway. Are these some of the better barley wines I've had as of late? No. They really come off as not anything like barley wine. But that's what they call them. So here we go. Value and availability on these, no idea. FLX homies, please let me know what you paid for these, or anybody else who's bought these, and leave you with it if you like what we like these. If you like trying beers from breweries trying to do things, and I don't mean it as a negative. When I say kind of not less than stellar things about beer, it's just because that's what I'm drinking, and I feel like if I don't tell the truth, then that leaves what? Just me a shill, an advertisement, whatever you want. So, but they're a brewery, and I'm pretty sure I had at least one review beer from them before, and to the point where I want to say I really enjoyed it because I remember enjoying it. Regardless, breweries are going to be putting out rum barrel aged barley wine, small batch in upstate New York should be supported. I don't know what else to say, man. This is not end all be all. You don't see this and go, okay, fuck this brewery. That's not what you do here. And that's kind of what I want at the end of this. If it's not something I really enjoy, that's kind of the point I'm trying to put across is that, sure. If this is the 9th beer I've had from a mid-sized brewery and they're all hot garbage and you like what I like, at that point, maybe just, pass on that brewery. Do your own thing. That's the ultimate thing. Do what you do. But no way, shape, or form should my like or dislike of these beers shy you away from visiting this brewery or buying their beers in the future. That's my point. There you go. We're reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. The other thing I have to say, I really want to know the ABV on these. If these are higher than I think they are, if these are in 13% range, 12, 13%, and you bought these, age them for 10 years plus. I'm not joking. I am not joking. You would be surprised what a beer like this would turn into in a decade or two, especially the non-barrel aged version, because that apple thing might go a little wild over there. But this base, you could open this in 20 years and be like, oh my god, this is the best beer ever. And that, when I say 20 years, that's not me being like, ha ha ha, 20 years from now. I'm legitimately saying 20 years from now, this could turn into something crazy. That's no joke. So, yeah, age this shit. I want to try the base beer in 20 years. Let's put it that way. So if anybody has like 80 of these that they want to give me because I can't help myself, I'll open one every year or so. I want to try this in 20 years. So there you go. We're reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a local brewery by you right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.